Algebra for Sports Fans, Part 7, Multiplying Real Numbers. This is Ken Boyd, the owner of St. Louis Test Preparation. Here's our email address and our phone number. You'll see our website and web channel for YouTube later in the video, and also the textbook that we use for our examples in this presentation. So we're talking about multiplication of real numbers. We've mentioned on prior videos that algebra deals with real numbers only. So what's a product mean? The result or answer when two numbers are multiplied together. The product or answer of a positive and a negative number multiplied together is a negative number. So 3 times minus 2 equals minus 6. So let's bring real numbers back in. The product of two real numbers with the same sign, either positive or negative, is the product of their absolute values. We've discussed absolute values in the 5th video. So here's our example, minus 2 times minus 4. The absolute value of both of those numbers that you learned previously are 4 and 2. So minus 4 times minus 2 is 8, which is the same result as 4 times 2, which equals 8. That may not be as helpful, but that's the theory behind multiplication of real numbers with the same sign. I think this slide is a little more helpful. Negative product. The product of numbers is negative if there is an odd number of negative factors. The factors of the individual numbers you're multiplying. So look at this example. We have 1, 2, 3 negative numbers we're multiplying together. Minus a half times minus 2 is 1. We multiply that by the minus 3, we get negative 3 as an answer. The answer is negative because we have an odd number of factors. We have 3 factors. Positive product. If the product is positive, if we have an even number of negative factors, they in essence cancel each other out and make a positive. Let's look at the next example. Negative 3 and negative 2 are both negative, and since we have an even number, when we multiply them together, they cancel each other out and become a positive. So 24 is our answer. The reason we get a positive result is two negative numbers are multiplied together to get a positive. We have an even number of factors. So if we had 4 or 8 or 10 or 12 negative numbers multiplied together, we'd get a positive number. If we had 5 or 7 or 9 factors multiplied together that were negative, we'd get a negative outcome. Here's an example from sports. In pro football, quarterback sacks allowed. Let's look at that statistic. The Detroit Lions allowed 63 quarterback sacks in 2008. They were the worst team in football and didn't win a game. They had the most number of sacks in the NFL. When a quarterback is sacked, by definition, his team loses yardage. He's tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Assume John Kittner, one of the Lion quarterbacks, is sacked on 3 consecutive plays. He loses 4 yards on each sack, or negative yardage. How many yards has he lost? Well, 3 plays, losing minus 4 yards each time. Since we have an odd number of negative factors, in this case just 1, our answer is a negative 12. Here are the commutative and associative properties. These are similar to the properties of addition that we discussed in Part 6. Basically, with addition and multiplication, you're in the clear. Commutative property, the order of the numbers added to multiplied together in this case doesn't change the sum. A times B is the same as B times A. Associative property, the brackets, the parentheses, or the grouping symbols don't matter. The way you group 3 numbers when multiplied together does not change the sum. You can see in our example at the bottom, it doesn't matter where we put the grouping numbers, the brackets, the parentheses. We still get the same result. So even if you didn't know that rule, you're less likely to make a mistake when adding or subtracting numbers in a particular order or with particular groupings around them. Let's do an example of our properties. Alexander Ovechkin, Washington Capitals, led the NHL with 56 goals in the most recent season, 08-09. Each hockey game has 3 periods. Assume that Ovechkin averages 4 shots per period over a 10-game span. How many total shots did he take during this period of time? 4 shots times 3 periods in each game times 10 games gets us 120 shots. And you'll notice that, first of all, it doesn't matter in what order we put those three numbers. 10 times 3 times 4 gives us the same result, 120. And it doesn't matter where we put the groupings. We could put the parentheses around 3 and 10. We get 120. We could put them around the 4 and 3. We'd still get 120. That's the end of part 7 of our Algebra for Sports Fans. You'll find the 8th part of our course on YouTube. You can subscribe to our channel on YouTube, Ken Boyd STL. For live tutoring and live chat, you can go to our website, stltest.net. You'll see our email and our phone number listed. Thanks for watching. See you next time.